Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorenzo. For today, we have this special presentation for the Personal Financial Builder and CRM Companion. It's going to be a little bit different than our regular Friday trainings in the sense that this one is going to be a mix between showing the features, how to use it, but also conceptually, also how to use it for marketing and for other uses that you may have. So right now you are seeing on screen the Personal Financial Builder, and I'm gonna enter. Okay, normally, but the first thing that I want to make you aware, and you have the same thing in your other software that you might be using now from me, is that you are forced to see a potential message. If I send a message here to you, assuming that you have this software, um, if you see this window, you are forced to see the message, whether it is um, once or start. If you use start, that means that you're going to start the instant message system. But if you click once, only you're going to retrieve the messages only once. The advantage of doing once, obviously, if you're not using this um, for to communicate with other compatible software, well, you don't want to use the resources of your computer just to check from time to time. But it's possible that my point is that by having this once, we are using the marketing capabilities or one of the marketing capabilities of the software. We're using that to force you to see a message if that message exists. So in this case, it doesn't. So I simply I can click enter or click with the mouse. So it's only one click, but it's a very advantageous from the marketing point of view. Second thing that we observe here is as always, I made a mistake talking about the program without having the screen shown. So I'm going to go back for a second here, and I'm going to repeat the entrance, pretty much clicking enter, which is normal, and then clicking the once button, okay? So that's what I did so far. So, but I explained a little bit before. Apologize for that. It happens when I have to switch the screens and I forget to do it. And now it's done. The program is comprised for many parts. As you can see here, many buttons: the agenda, payment reminder, virtual desktop manager, knowledge database, quick notes, instant messenger, amortization loan center, budget center, debt reduction and credit card analyzer, the list view, the user-defined fields, and some other things. But most importantly, for the actual financial building action of the software, you you have this layout. And this layout, basically what it says is that we have a budget, and we have the debt reduction, and we have the reminders, and then we have the communication with potential affiliates, potential not affiliates, sorry, I meant creditors. It could be Sears or whatever, or an attorney, or a doctor, or an insurance company. So the CRM capabilities of the software. So these four areas are the one that comprises pretty much everything. Well, going back to the screen, I'm going to start explaining how the program works. But also I want to point out the marketing area. Marketing area is very, very important area in this software, especially if you're going to use it for marketing purposes. This software can be used, for example, to use as a justification for the down payment. You have a credit repair company or any other kind of company where you need to receive a down payment, and maybe that is illegal to receive money up front. But if you sell a software, you can buy it in quantities of very inexpensively, as a matter of fact, for only $9.95. But also when you buy 100 and buy at that range of prices, you also control this area. So that means that you can give it to your clients and justify the initial setup fee, maybe $299, whatever, that you charge to your clients, and be legal because you are selling a software and not actually use it, not just charging an upfront fee. So this is very important. Now, how do you change this? That is a question that I receive constantly. Well, that's actually very easy. When you get the program from us and you get the 100 licenses or more, you're going to receive a special link. And with that link, you're going to be able to control, like I have it here, okay? This is a sample where I have here a screenshot of what is here. And potentially I can change that screenshot and make it, well, make it different, make it to say something different in seconds. This is the upper part, and this is the down part of that one. And what happened is this. As you can see here at the bottom, there is a free-form field. With that free-form field, you can put any HTML page of this size, 600 by 600, which is the size of this marketing area, and pretty much show whatever you want. So obviously, if you are, let's say, a credit repair company and you are either giving this away because to attract prospects, or maybe you are selling it, you may put, you know, kind of promotion, corporate promotion about your company. You can cross promote other of your services. You can do upsells. You can put the thought of the day. You can put a video. You can put a form. You can put a survey. But if you were a church, for example, which again, that comes the part where you can use this to resell it to a community. That could be either affiliates, a network marketing community. It could be a church. It could be a group of insurance, whatever. So then you can use this area in a different way, maybe to promote, if it was a church, to promote your services, to talk about schedules, to talk about the prayer of the day, to request money, to do fundraising, to talk about events. So so essentially, you have a way to communicate with your clients forever, and you can change this page as many times as you want, even during the day. So you can have time-sensitive offers that is going to last only for one day. Sure, you can put it there. People that don't go, next day is going to be different. And because it's different, and because it's something that you control, is a potential marketing tool forever at an extremely low price. If you combine this with the instant messenger, with the ability to send targeted messages to a particular individual or to many at the same time, that makes it a real killer in terms of marketing. Now let's talk about features. As I put before on screen, this little graph or chart, this is pretty much how the system works. So I'm gonna start by showing the budget center, okay, which is the one that we had at the top. So budget center, I'm going to, do I have here anything from before? I don't know really. Let's see. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to import something, so I don't wanna, to be honest, type everything. So I'm gonna copy from data that I already have here to make it easy for me to fill in this form. Okay, and I'm gonna put something here just to make it more meaningful to me. So basically, with the budget center, what it does is to control and to let you know how far are you from the ideal ratios. In, for example, the ideal ratio for housing is 30%, and here we have less, which is, you know, good. Before it was more because I had less money here, but I'm trying to put more so I have a healthy surplus here. So by the way, give me just a second to check if I had any. Yeah, okay, so I'm checking the chat for a second here to see if I have a comment here from one of the team saying to remind that you can pay a monthly service. So in other words, you can buy the 100 licenses but pay it in 10 installments. Okay, so once we said that, so here we have, for example, 18. So everything here is perfect because I put a lot of money here. But if I didn't have that money, for example, I put 4,000. Now we have 4,100 here when it should be 30%, etc. So the whole idea is to be able to calculate how much money do you have in excess to pay extra and be able to reduce your debts as soon as possible. In this particular case, we have 2,200 plus potentially the 500 here. So we have 2,700 that this month in particular we have of excess money to pay in an accelerated way for our debts, whether they are loans or they are credit cards, etc. Then we have the reminders and then we have the credit reduction. But this is the thing. In order to have the reminders, obviously we need to know what are the debts. So we're going to start with this. And also we're going to assume that this is you or this is me. Doesn't matter. So this is you or me. I'm going to assume that in order to when you go, so you can have potentially unlimited people in your family or whatever that you want to control with this system. And as long as you put one person here, you can put more and more and more. You can have unlimited, and then control the debt reduction analyzer with that. So I'm going to click and I have the credit card reduction analyzer. Well, here I have some buttons, and I'm going to show you how it works. Again, this is not as profound and as advanced as other trainings that we have on Friday. This is more a little combination between a training and between what you could do for marketing purposes. And Personal Financial Leader is the perfect leader for the credit restoration business, but also for other business, to be bankruptcy attorneys, any financial related business, or even a benefits provider. Okay, so I'm going to click add to add a debt. Okay, so I'm adding a debt, and let's say that I put Sears, and this is store card, right? And I'm gonna put the number. Usually what I do in real life is that the last four numbers, I put it in bold so I can easily find them. And not only that, because I can do a find and then it will find either by the beginning or either by the end, because I have it separate. If I have it together, it won't find by the end. But if I have a separate like this, I can find by 1, 2, 3, 4, or I can find also part 4, 2, 3, 4. So I have a way. So this one practically doesn't need description, but in other cases it might. Now, another thing that can happen, I'm going to put the limit. Okay, so let's say that I have $3,000, and let's say right now that I made a purchase of 500, and the percentage is 24%. I have no idea what it is in real life, but just making up numbers. We have here a very special feature. Okay, so this is a normal thing, and when we receive our statement, we're going to have obviously the minimum payment here. Okay, so we're going to put whatever 25. We're going to have here the budget. Remember the budget that we have from before. So let's say that our budget is 2,000 for this month. This can be changed every time. Okay. And then how much you will pay. But we want more transactions. But I'm going to explain this one first, the special buy. Usually when you get a new car, or from time to time you receive offers with a zero interest. And for those, this is a kind of a blessing. It's absolutely fantastic. So let's say that even with this Sears, I have this one, but I receive an offer, okay? And I'm going to duplicate this transaction, making it very easy to create. And I'm going to put the special, so let's say that 6 month, zero interest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 months, zero interest, and let's say that this particular purchase is for $1,000. Okay, and so the amount here, it doesn't really matter. This is just for, I mean, it matters here to divide, but to see the available. So I can put zero here, I can put, or I can put an amount here and 1,000 here, for example, to be appropriate. And I can put 2,000 here, okay, if the total is 3,000. Now, let's say that I put finance 1,000 and I put zero here, okay? So you can see that automatically, because it's a special system, it's a special type of transaction with zero interest, is gonna ignore the advice of the system, and that's why this red check mark, because it's ignoring the advice of the system, and also is putting the amount that if you pay this amount for every month, is by this time the whole debt will be paid, and that is the important thing. Okay, so in other words, it divides how many months you have in between the dates and divides the total amount with zero. That way, not only reminds you, obviously, of the date that you need to pay, that you must pay, but also it tells you how much, so you don't get to this day and maybe you don't have the $1,000, especially when you have higher loans. This could be a real problem. So by paying this, you assure, and if you cannot pay, let's say the minimum is still 25, let's say, it doesn't matter here, but let's say that you don't pay, well, you can do an exception next month when you receive your statement and you put whatever is left, it's going to change and it's going to make more. It's going to compensate automatically to pay this on time. So, so it's very flexible and automatically. I need to create another one, otherwise we're not going to have enough stuff here to calculate, so I'm going to put another one. I'm going to put a credit card now. So I'm going to be, for example, Capital One. Capital One, this is obviously a credit card, the first one, and this is the number, okay, and this one is going to be normal, whatever. So I'm going to put 4,000 in this case, and whatever was the minimum, it doesn't matter because we don't know. And I'm going to put $1,000 here, and I'm going to put more percentage here. I'm going to put 29. Obviously, also this is the cash finance and the cash percentage. For Sears, doesn't make sense, but for Capital One, it could make sense. So without knowing what is the if I have zero here, but potentially maybe it's going to be 29.50, so it's always going to be more. So you have this, it serves you at least to know, even if you have to come back later. And still, I'm going to put another one. Let me put a car, which a car is a car loan. So car loan. By the way, this one, that's why the description might be useful for this one in the Sears one, the one that it was zero interest. So here I can explain 6 month zero interest for buying 4 tires. Okay, so at least I'm explaining what is the reason for this special transaction, and then. For the car, well, I can put, this is the loan number, but I can put all the other things, And this one, explaining practically the loan. So let's put here a car loan. Let's put that that we have the software when this was almost like this. The minimum in this case is whatever, I don't know, but whatever is the minimum. Which is the amount actually that is correct. I'm gonna put here the limit, and credit finance is the same, but of course the percentage is gonna be lower, and I don't know how much is gonna be here. Well, I have 4. Usually, obviously, you're gonna have a little more. Mortgages are not very appropriate to this, even though we have a special place to calculate accelerated mortgages, which is the amortization loan center. But I want to point out, in my humble opinion, money is money, any way you put it, and it doesn't make sense, in my humble opinion, to put the money that you should be paying in high interest credit card into paying a low interest account. The reason that you owe so much money in a mortgage is because the house costs a lot of money, and also because it's a lot of time, whatever, 15 years, 30 years. So because of that, yes, you're paying a lot of interest, but if you were paying for the same amount of time and the same amount of money, the credit card, it would be simply outrageous. So the point is, if you have cards that you haven't paid, it doesn't make sense to pay your mortgage in an accelerated way. Simply is not an advantage in any way, shape, or form. The only possible way is if you had a credit card that will give you money at zero interest, like for a period of time, and you use the money to pay a mortgage, for example, that would make sense because you're getting a 0% money and to pay the capital, and then you are paying without interest. So that makes money. You can do all this controlling with the debt reduction analyzer. So the first thing to do is to click the analyze debt reduction. Here is a different to analyze to improve the score. The criteria is completely different. Is related to what is the percentage. For example, in this case, you see, well, the card doesn't relate to that, but this one, yes. Well, the card also could relate a little bit to that. But in any event, in this one, that's why they are in red, because the percentage you see in red means that the amount due is more than 40% of the limit. So I have a limit of 1,000, and the credit finance is 1,000. So obviously it's 100%. So it's gonna be red. If I put here 500, still is gonna be. Oh, sorry, I put 5,000. If I put 500, still red. If I put 400, now it's yellow. Okay, because it's 25 to 40, etc. So okay, I'm gonna put 1,000 and it's red. But so this is the analyze to improve score. So this is if your client what he wants is or you is to improve your score. This is what you need to see to reduce the debt, especially not for a card, obviously, but most importantly for credit cards, the relationship, and you have it in colors. So the ones that are green are okay. The ones in red or yellow can be reduced or should be reduced. And you have here pay at least 601 to reduce debt to less than 40%. That would be the initial step in order to have an amount that is less of 40%, which is less than $400. Okay, so now the correct button is the analyze for debt reduction. So I'm going to click that, recalculate. I'm going to recalculate without clearing paid. In this case, we don't have anything paid, so it doesn't matter. But I'm recalculating. And what happened is he's using the $2,000. So you can see here, he's using the $2,000. All these amounts are applied with the $2,000 that I have left. And in this case, while this one was $200, let me put less here because it's kind of a too good, okay? Too good. So I'm gonna put something that is not that good. I'm putting less budget, okay? So I have less budget to pay. So you can see the power of the software, okay? So in this particular case, this one got ignored because you don't want to pay more. What you want to pay is an amount that is comfortable and at the same time makes sense related to your zero interest. Otherwise, you would pay the minimum, but you don't want to pay the minimum either because you have a finite. If you didn't have a finite time, that would be great. Like you have a zero from a friend, and you whatever pay it in installments. But in this particular case, you have a finite term, which is December 04, that this amount must be paid. So you want to pay it on time. This one, you see, the one with the highest interest, 29%, is being assigned $582.14. The second one, the 501, is paid, and this one, both are being paid the minimum. Okay, so in other words, the system what it's doing is to the minimum or the lower interest is paying the minimum, and the money left after that is being assigned totally to the highest interest rate. You can override, so to speak, this suggestion just by putting ignore and putting another number. Like in this one was done automatically. I didn't do it. It was automatic, but this number didn't change. Otherwise, it would have put 25 right now because it has zero interest. But because I had it ignore, it's going to pay this. Okay. Before I show you the payments and all stuff, I'm going to also assign these payments to the when to pay, and so for example, this one I'm going to put next week. This one I'm going to leave. Actually, it's the same credit card, so I'm going to put it like this. Oh no, this is a different one. Okay, so on this one I'm going to put it for today. This one is the same, so I'm going to leave it for today, and the card I'm going to put it for 2 weeks. And doing this just so we have a different dates, and I'm going to send this credit card for the first time to the agenda. I can enter it in the agenda manually, and that's perfectly right, nothing wrong with that, or I can enter it automatically. So automatically, it's like this, you see, you can go to the agenda and payment reminder, or you can add it to the agenda, okay? And in this case, it's added. So I wanna add that one. I wanna add this one, and I want to add this one. Okay. Now it's added. So now I'm gonna come back later to show you the payments and stuff, how it works. But I'm gonna go to the agenda for a second to show you the agenda and payment reminder. So I'm gonna click go. Okay, and I have these 2 payments which are for today. Okay, and I have this one that is for the 11th. The other one I didn't change correctly, so basically I have it like this. So I have Sears, and I have Capital One for today, and now you can see that the time is automatically 12:01 a.m. So in other words, exactly on the date. That's why it's red, as a matter of fact, because it's kind of overdue. Okay, and actually this is the actual date. This is the actual date, and this is advising you a week before. This one, since already overdue, is 0. Okay, so we have 0 days. One of these days we're going to have a training in depth for the agenda and payment reminder. I will explain everything, but I want to explain a few things that are important. First of all, here is the one that you're going to have as reminders. So we need to put now what is the recurrency for this. So it's going to be every month, and because it's a credit card, we're going to put it for $99.99, pretty much forever. Same thing with the other one. If it was a car, okay, if it was a car, probably we wouldn't want to do that. We want to put exactly, but this one is a credit card, so it's a revolving account. And the car, which is this one, right? I'm going to put any number of months, okay? So I'm going to put every month, but you can see it puts the dates automatically, but obviously it can be changed. I'm going to put 24 months, whatever it is. The numbers most probably don't make sense. Okay, so we have everything here. And another thing that I want to point out on the agenda is the following, and this is kind of important. I came back, and as you can see, I'm here. So maybe I want to explain the other thing related to the CRM part just in a few seconds. And notice that the agenda is red now because it has things that are due for today. We have it the same here, agenda and payment reminder in red, to remind us that we have something to do in the agenda. So it's something that it has a time. No, it's not something like I can do it when I want. It's something that is kind of urgent. So depending if you have it with time or not, it's going to be red or not. Okay, so now when I'm reminded, let's say that I went to the agenda, I was here, I went to the agenda tells me, oh, okay, I need to pay Sears, okay, today. Fine. I go to Sears, I have to pay it. Sears was, I can click the black arrow, if you remember from other trainings, I can click here and filter the database. I can click the black arrow and I can select all the accounts. And I'm doing this only for convenience, because this is exactly what happens in real life, because I have 25 and 142, so the total is 167.86, which I can copy here. I can copy to paste it in my way of payment. So how I'm gonna pay for this? Well, I have many ways. I can send a check, obviously, right? Can send a check or something, but usually these days you're gonna do it either in your bank, or you're gonna do it either in the credit card itself, in Sears website. So here we have how to go to your website, to your bank website, or to go to your creditor's website, depending the way you pay it. I want to point out how this thing works, because it doesn't actually connect for real to your bank, because we don't want that any entity in between will have your password. As a matter of fact, you don't need to put your passwords if you don't want, but you can if you want. And it works just like this. Let's say that you pay in Wells Fargo, for example. So let's see that I put here. Okay, so I'm gonna put a username, the URL. Let's say that is Wells Fargo or Bank of America or whatever, and then you can set the password or not. If you don't set the password, obviously you're not going to have it, but you might remember the password. If you put the password, okay, we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what happens is this. When you click go, it's going to open internally or externally, usually externally better, but I'm going to do it internally so you can see it. And so it's going to go to Wells Fargo, and here we have in our clipboard the username and password. So you see I can paste, and I have the username and the password. I only need to highlight the password, okay, like this. I can right click on it, click cut, yes, cut, delete the space because I don't need it, and do paste here. Okay, so now I have the username and password, and I can enter. Usually you do this in the external browser, and there is a really big difference. It's only in case that you need to go back and consult something in the program where you don't have it, because you have it here. If you close it, you lose the position here. So basically you want to do it outside, so you have the program. But in this case, it's good to do it this way. It's possible to do it this way again, and the only reason to do it outside is so in other words, you have the password, but the password go nowhere. It doesn't go anywhere. It simply goes into your Windows clipboard that you can paste it here. So it's completely safe, as opposed to other systems out there. You know, many systems that are these days that you need to put your password, and then a third party, which you don't know if it's going to be, you know, hacked, or it's going to be, you know, somehow compromised with your password of your bank. In this way, you know that you have the same level of security that you have in your computer. And then another option would be to pay in Sears website. So in that case, this would be exactly the same procedure, right? The only difference is that you're going to use the website of your creditor and the password. Here, again, the same thing. You click go and go to here. You can copy the password if you want, whatever, or put it in the clipboard automatically. Now it goes to Sears, you go to whatever, the login. Probably this is not the right place, but if it is, you just simply log in and etc., and you are inside and make your payment. Once the payment is made, remember that here we're making a total payment that the other side doesn't know, or it doesn't matter really, because you are paying this, and you know that the way that you're going to pay this is going to be okay, because in 6 months this is going to be paid. So basically you click paid and paid. Okay, paid and paid now is green. So I'm going to select all the disputes, all the transactions, all the debts. Again, to do that, I click on the person. Okay, remember that this is you, or this is me, this is whoever I'm calculating here. Okay, so I have that. If I, for example, receive a new credit card right now, I'm gonna call it uh, American Express. Well, American Express is in cash, so it doesn't make sense. HSBC with a purchase, let's put Discover. So I put Discover, and this is a credit card. The reason that I'm doing this is to show you that it is possible. It is possible, obviously, to enter new things, but not only that. If I put here 2,000 in debt, I can recalculate. And this is the beauty of this, and this is what I want to point out. Okay, I can recalculate without clearing the page. Why this is important? Well, this is important for this exact reason, that you might receive the statements at different dates. And when you receive it, in this case, I'm putting the example of receiving a new credit card, but you might receive a statement a different date, then you don't have all the statements together every month. And all these things, are the real life things that are important in this software, as opposed to a bunch of others that are out there. That this one is designed to work in real life. Is designed really to have the tools that you need to manage your financial life. And it's not just a bunch of graphics and stuff like that. We have some graphics too, but it's not to have graphics for the sake of having graphics. It's how to do it properly. So this one, recalculate without clearing paid, is exactly what I can do. So obviously these payments are already paid, so I cannot be changed, and they are not changed no matter what. But other payments, you see, could be changed. That, like this one, what changed? If you remember, before it was paying 542.14, and now because of this 40, because, well, first of all, here we don't have anything here, so let's put I don't know, 18, 89, 18%. Did I do it correctly? I'm not sure. I think I clicked twice onto something. It doesn't matter really, because it's a test, so I can do whatever I want. But the point here is still the highest, which is this one, is the one that takes the most money from the 1,000. Okay, talking about graphics and stuff, we have here some graphics, which is the calculate saving. So with this one, we can calculate the savings that we will have versus, for example, in the interest where you see the most dramatic change, and also in the paying the month, how many months is the where you see if you pay the minimum, or if you pay what is advised. It's a huge difference in month, right? Here is the difference, 2 years and 4 months of difference, and if you pay the minimum. And here the interest between 4,000 to 1,500, so you have a difference of 2,700 of difference in the interest, and this is the amount paid, which is essentially the amount that you save on interest. But of course, because it's the total, you see less visual difference. This one is a higher percentage difference, and that's why you see this chart. So this is very interesting. You can play a little bit. Even you can do what if scenarios, even though I'm trying to maintain this based on real life. In other words, what if scenarios? Well, what is if you win the lotto? Well, yeah, you're gonna pay everything in one shot. But if you don't win the lotto, you want to base your calculations in your real budget, which can be changed every month. So that's another advantage. It's not something that you are forced to have. Maybe you receive a bonus in Christmas, whatever, and you can use this in your budget to pay more, etc. So I hope that this is kind of reasonably clear. Okay, and we're gonna go to other parts. Okay, so now other parts are amortization loan center. I'm not going to take a lot of time here because this is kind of a trivial and obvious, but still I can add. I'm going to put here. I'm going to put car loan, and I'm going to put a, a used car here for a 24 month and an interest rate of 9%. Okay, and this is what I have to pay, and I can create an amortization table. Okay, and I can print that amortization table and stuff, and pretty much know I can do accelerated mortgages or accelerated payment of any kind. It doesn't have to be a mortgage. I can do extra payments and all that, and I can do even creative actually, a creative payment. Especially this is useful for mortgage and stuff like that. Like for example, I pay a down payment, or well, the down payment it doesn't count as the amount in loans, but I pay, for example, at a different interest rate for a few months, and then a different interest rate, and then I do another thing, and I might have certain milestones where I make payments every 5 months or every year. So I can make all these creative calculations and have unlimited loan scenarios that I can use. And this is the simple one, or the simplest, and I can do that. Another very important thing related to the agenda and also to the debt reduction, I can link these debts to the debt reduction and to the agenda. In order to do that, in order to prove it, I'm gonna add, and this is the way actually that you should do it. This is the CRM part, the management. In here, in the CRM area, you're gonna have all your creditors, Sears, Capital One, but also you're gonna have attorneys, doctors, insurance agents, providers, handymans, and why not? You can have your friends too there. So there's nothing wrong with that. You want to have as much information as possible. In this particular case, I'm gonna put Sears, yes, but not here actually, here in the company. And so I put Sears, and well, the address, phone numbers, email, URL, refer, related to, keywords, whatever, and any notes, have a contract, this or that. I can attach contract. For example, Sears does this service contract for the range, for the fridge, etc. So you can add the contract from your. I can put contract fridge, and then I can have it somehow. Maybe I receive it in an email, and I have a PDF, so I can attach the PDF here, have it here handy, and also be able to see it whenever I want just by clicking here. Or I can scan it. If I have a paper, I can scan it, and then it will be here as a PDF, and I can see it whenever I want. So I can have pretty much, remember, this is only for Sears, so I can have the same functionality for everything. I can have an attorney, I can have a mortgage broker, I can have a creditor. But in this case, I added Sears. Okay, so this is Sears, and I'm going to. This is, to be honest, a little bit tricky, to be perfectly honest, because there are two people, so to speak, that are related to this, to the debt reduction analyzer. In the agenda, it's very easy. If I go to the agenda now, okay, and I have Sears here, I can link it by clicking here, okay, insert contact name in description. So not only put the contact, but also put this asterisk, which actually tells me that I can go, and that's why it's yellow now. Yellow now because we are on that record in the other side. Okay, so even if I'm here, still this one yellow. Okay, so that means that I can go if I see this in with the red asterisk. That means that I can go to that record by clicking go. So this is a way to go, kind of a triangulate the thing. So I'm going to go here, and you see he selected one out of the 122 that I had here for testing. He selected one out of one for Sears. So he selected that record. That is kind of important. Now, the tricky part, to be honest, is in the debt reduction analyzer, because this one, remember, is going to show the records for you and not for Sears, unless we do something. And that something is just a little bit tricky, but don't get scared. You need to copy the ID of Sears by clicking here. Okay, it's simple. It's a little bit tricky. And then you need to go with your record as usual to the debt reduction analyzer. So it's selected all. That's fine. That is your record, right? Selected all. And here we have link to contact. In this case, the contact is Sears, but the Sears is what we want. But remember, we are not on top of Sears. We are on top of Porsche. So we select Sears here, and we're gonna click link to, and it's asking me for the contact ID, which I have in my clipboard. So I'm gonna click on it. Okay, I'm gonna click current. If I selected both of these, I could have said selected, but in this case, I was a little bit lazy, and I'm doing current. So now what happened is this. Now I have Sears here, and I can go to Sears directly, or I can go back and go to the contact, which is this one, which is me, or you, or whoever is the one that we are analyzing here. And so I'm gonna go to Sears now, okay? Go to Sears. We have Sears. So what happens in real life? Well, in real life happens this, that if I'm like this, in other words, if I'm not selecting anything, I'm here with somebody, I'm in a record, in an unknown record. First of all, if I was in Sears and I go to the agenda, it will select the transactions from Sears, the tasks from Sears, the reminders from Sears. But if I go from anywhere, because I'm seeing it in red, okay, I see, let's say that it's Sears that I want to pay today, that I have to pay today. I click go. I'm in Sears, and now I can click the debt reduction. So I'm doing a triangulation, and it will select Sears, okay? And I select me automatically. So actually, I have kind of a two pointers. One that is pointing pretty much to me, and the other one that is pointing to the creditor. This way, when I receive that notification, if I have all my creditors as I should in the CRM part of the software, I can triangulate and come from the agenda, one click to the creditor, and one click here, and basically do whatever I want. Go to the bank, go to the website of the creditor, pay my debt, put the fee, and then mark in the agenda that had been paid. Okay, so in this case, I will go to the agenda, and because I already paid it, I will click delete. Okay, and you see here what happens. It's asking me to create the next one, the next payment, which is due on the 7th, right? This is the next payment, okay? And delete this one. So create and delete. It is explained here. Or delete altogether. Let's say that I cancel the credit card for whatever reason. Well, I don't want to be advised anymore, obviously. So that will be delete. But in this case, it's going to be create, delete. And in this one, this is the capital one. The other one, the Sears, is in the next month. Okay, we're in June here. So July, you see, we have it right here. Okay, so this is a very, very nice way to do your payments. You're going to be reminder on time. As a matter of fact, usually I do 7 days before. This one is wrong simply because I put it this way. I mean, it was really wrong. But normally, what happens in real life is that you put your alarm. This is your actual date, and you're going to put your alarm 7 days before. Okay, so we have 7 days to make the payments, and obviously you don't want to leave it for the last day, because either you're going to pay a penalty or something. Especially if you do it with your bank, you want to do it 3 or 4 days before. But at least you put 7, you have enough time. If you skip over a weekend or something, you don't get penalized for that. Okay, so this is a reminder. Then go to the So here we are coming back, and if we had another one, we will go and have the other one, whatever, okay, and have, oh, we have a capital one too. We're click go. Unfortunately, in this case, we don't have capital one linked. We don't have the asterisk, so nothing to go to. But if we had that, it would be extremely simple to just click go and go to the debt reduction analyzer. Okay, so other areas of possible interest. The knowledge database. Knowledge database, it comes pre-populated with a little bit of financial stuff, proving your credit related, nothing too fancy. But most importantly is the ability that you have to enter, to add new categories and new topics inside each category, pretty much unlimited. These are the categories, but you can add your own category, right? So you can put my own interest. My own interest, let's say that is about movies, and I get movies I want to see, like The Edge of Tomorrow. So so movies I want to see, and maybe you're gonna have a list here, or you're gonna have links here to the trailers or whatever. So the thing is that you can create your own categories, right? Your own categories, and then you can create unlimited topics inside each category. You can even encrypt and decrypt, print them, basic stuff. And also you can link it to a particular contact, which could be, interesting if that contact, it could be an attorney. Maybe you have some interesting things. Maybe you find something from somebody that you want to have from the internet, and you have a bunch of things. This could be probably the right way to have it linked. And be able to come back later. You can have images here, even videos are possible to see here. When you click here, it comes here, so you can have an image that you copy and paste, or simply a video that you insert. There are many ways to manipulate this, but as I always say, you need to hover your mouse over the different buttons, and when there is something important, like in this one, pleased to see image field, it will tell you, the program will tell you what to do, or what are the options. Another thing that you should know is about the Visual Desktop Manager. This is a very, very important area that I use every day. I have it here. Here is where I use it, actually, from my CRM companion. Since I want to talk a little bit about the companion, you see the companion here. Okay, the companion does not have the financial capabilities of the personal financial builder, but it has the CRM capabilities. Okay, same CRM capabilities, and so for people that don't need the financial, well, they can have the companion. The companion is even cheaper when you buy it in quantities, and you can also control the marketing area with the same system. I will give you, I will assign you a special web ID where you will have access like this. You will have access to your own stuff, and either you can fill in the blanks, and they will take you 1 minute to create that, or you can enter, as you can see in the bottom part, you can enter a free form, so to speak, an HTML code that you want, and put anything that you want, and essentially display anything in that particular, for all your clients. So that is in real life. So you have 10,000 clients, you click, you make a change here, and those 10,000 clients have that change immediately in real life. But I was going to show the Visual Desktop Manager. Here is where I control all my, you can see I have 118, and to be honest, I should have 200, but sometimes I don't have the time to do it, but I should, because this is extremely useful. For example, this is my basic application that I use when I reboot the computer. So I'm sure that when you reboot the computer, you need to remember what to run, and you forget. Whereas I don't, because I can double click on each one and make it work. For example, I can do a find. I'm gonna do, for example, a find for many. I find this one, okay, and all these, and I find in particular this one. I'm going to assign this one to graphics and videos. So I'm gonna mark the current, okay. marking the current, you can see that this is green, while this is well, green. This is the green because we're on it. If I click here, this one is green and this one is green. Okay, so these ones are in these two groups. These are shortcut groups. You can have unlimited groups, but these are shortcut groups. In other words, groups that you use the most. So if you are careful in the one that you choose, probably it's going to be enough. So like my essentials or manuals, etc. You see. So I can to marketing. So you can have a bunch of things that with one click. But not only that. Let me find again this menu, for example. I'm going to delete this icon, okay? And the way it works is actually I shouldn't delete it, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to call it Minicam, which is a great program. Minicam. Then I click the icon finder, okay? Click internal, and it finds a bunch of icons related to that, and I'm gonna choose this one, and I'm gonna right click, click copy, okay, and paste it here. Look where it says shift click to enter, and then right click to insert the picture. So I'm gonna do exactly that. Shift to enter, right click to paste. And then the same thing here. I do a Google Finder, and I will find something, and I can enter and copy the text. Sometimes it doesn't copy, to be honest. Here is a Windows flaw, so probably I need to paste it outside and then copy back. So I can paste it outside and not directly here. But otherwise, you click Shift and enter. Yeah, it didn't copy. That is a kind of a Windows problem. And then you're going to put the files to run. And let me show you with the one I had already. So this one, I'm going to do find many, okay. In this particular case, I'm just going to copy this and try to paste it here, if I can. Yep. And then I'm going to well, can leave it for now. But this one has text that I entered, so I can double click and see the text in big, or I can shift click and see it here, or I can hover and see it not in this computer again. There are some kind of issues sometimes with that particular computers, plus the fact that I have several programs of the same open. But you should be able to see it as a pop-up. In any event, you can double click and see it and see the text. But most importantly, it can be used to be found. For example, in other words, you can put keywords here. If I use the keyword webcam, okay, you see I found only this one, because this one has the word webcam inside the description, and this is the only one in 119 that has this. Then here I will put the path to run the file. And here I can put related files, which could include a PDF to the manual, can include a website, okay? So if I want to use the website, I click the action button and go to the website with one click. So this is a very nice way to have, it's a desktop enhancement. You can have all your icons, but also you can have your files. You can have even a directory. So you can put here, instead of a concrete file, you can put a directory, and that will open the directory. So how many times you have your whatchamacallit, your desktop full of folders that you use, and it's difficult sometimes even to know what they are, because you have the text there, but the text sometimes it doesn't explain, or it doesn't have the keywords, because it's only 3 little lines, a few letters actually, that you can use in each icon. So here you have unlimited text, unlimited keywords. You can run it, you can have related files. Sometimes you have a program that you don't know where you bought it, or what is the website that you can go to, etc., etc. So this is a very useful program that, and is included on both the companion and the personal financial builder, okay, right here. This one I have it empty. Well, I have this one, but I have it empty because this is my programming environment. So then we have the instant messenger, and the instant messenger, I believe I explained this in a different training, but very briefly, here you have the ability to communicate to other compatible software. Other compatible software could be another personal financial builder, a CRM companion, our line of CRM software, Light Pro and Ultimate, our line of credit repair software, the Credit Money Machine, Light, the Pro Plus, and the Ultimate. And the way it works is if you are the distributor of personal financial builder to your clients, or you're giving them away, or you're selling them, then you have the PIN, the license PIN of your client, which case you will add that PIN. Okay, I'm gonna put current, so you will add that PIN here, and now this client, you see that's why it's red. It has an instant. It has a code. It has an ID, so to speak. So you see it's red. If I go to the next one, it's not red. So just by watching here, I know that this person has an instant messenger, and I can send him a message. So that means that if this was your client, and you had the PIN of your client that you will have, of course, and you have your client here in any of our software. That could be, again, Credit Money Machine or our line of CRM software, whatever. You can select the person and put a message, okay? And also you can have shortcuts, by the way. So that would be the shortcut. So you can have shortcuts here and say, for example, hi, how you doing? And I'm gonna save that into the first one, you see? Okay, so I can click this and paste it. I can type, obviously, but I can do shortcuts like this. And then I can send a message now, and it will be in blue. And it says who sent it, and to Portia on this, and so this is you, of course, and it's blue. And then when Portia received this, in this case, obviously, we are both, right? We are sending to Portia, and we're going to receive as Portia. The program is stopped. That's okay. I can start it, and then, every 30 seconds, we'll pretty much look for new messages, or I can receive now. Or remember that you will receive messages when you enter. You're forced to see the message. Hi, how you doing? So you see, now it's from corporate, so that person can actually respond to that. This is you now, the corporate. You are the person. You are the network manager for your affiliates, whatever. It's many scenarios. You are the minister for your congregation. You are, the insurance manager and the insurance salespeople that you have in the street, and you can communicate in an intimate way, one by one, or to many people at the same time. Okay, here there is a way you can see here, Shift Control Alt, to send a message to all selected contacts. So it's possible to have a bunch of contacts and send a message to all of them with one click. Obviously, we recommend that because this is kind of a forced message that you'll be very delicate with sending messages to people that don't expect that, You do it once, and you need to know. It's better that you lose some people than that you abuse your power. Remember, we're giving you this power in the software, but only because we don't have any complaints. If we had complaints, we couldn't do that, to giving you this power of forcing a message, literally. So here, you can respond. Great. How about you? Remember, this is your client answering to you, and then sends messages now, and now you are the one to receive this. Okay. Okay. So that's the way. Then we have the quick notes. The quick notes is basically, and also available, again, everything is available in the CRM companion. That's why I included this in in this training presentation, so to speak, because everything is included except for the financial aspect. Okay, so the financial aspect, essentially these three buttons are not available in the CRM companion, but the rest is available in its entirety. So here you have, like, you can think about these like 8 sticky notes, yellow notes, post-it notes that you have. So you have 8 areas where you can put whatever you want. I wouldn't say that they have what to do, because that you could manage in the agenda, but maybe there are simple things that you want to remember. So you can put here, for example, edit label. I'm going to put remember or reminder. This is my whatever. Buy milk. So maybe this does not deserves a task, buy milk. But but it's something that you can put a list here, and you can put other things here. Maybe you have a list of websites. Maybe you have a list of something, list of prices, and you want to consult those prices quickly. That would be the perfect place to put a price list here, and you have different price lists, and then you have a plan A, and it has a equal something, right? And then plan B equals something else. So you can have all that and be quickly moving from different things. Also, you can go and have clips here. So you can have essentially for the messages that we have an instant message here for the cellulars. So the program has the capabilities, both have the capabilities of sending messages to cellular phones. Okay, so here you can have clips, and those clips can be classified by groups. So for example, I'm going to add, and I'm going to put my address. So here you can have Main Street, 123 Main Street, and whatever, Miami, 33333. And then, so we have this, and then you can copy that, for example, with this. Also, you can classify it in a group. So let's put it in a group Z, or in a group, well, I could put it in A because it's address, and I put it in a group C, so I made my point. And so that means that if I click here in the Z, if I click the X and I say group, okay, X and group, and I say all, you see I find nothing. All right. If I say Z group, I find this one. I'm gonna do the X so I don't have anything, okay? Nothing. But if I do M, remember that it was my address. So if I put M and I put letter, okay, then I find the 2. So I have 2 ways to find this. One is by groups, which is very useful, because essentially you can have groups of whatever. The content could be even an image. So you can have an image that you want to kind of save there, etc. So you can have whatever, and also there is another use, and that is that you can have links and run even a group. So let's say that I call it L, and I'm going to have my websites, or even the websites of your competitors, and you want to be a little bit on top of them. But if I do like this, I put this, and then I put it in group L, right? Group links, and I'm gonna put another one, and I'm gonna call it, well, this one I should call AOX. I don't need to put my website, but I'm gonna put it like this, and the other one I'm gonna put it CMM. I'm gonna put here CMM, and what happens is that if I do the L group, okay, I find these 2, of course, to say LL, but also I can run the group. And I can run the group, and this run the group is not only restricted to links, I can do keywords too. So again, this is a combination of these special features that we have that you can use for many, many uses, because when you run a group, in this case it's a link, so if I click this, it's going to open 2 browsers, but not internally, because I only have one, so it's going to open automatically 2 browsers of your regular browser, and then it's going to have each one for each one. But if I have keywords, for example, I can have keywords here, not a website, okay, and then run the group, and it will open several searches in Google with those keywords, and that could be a perfect way for you to check your how good you are in the different keywords for Google. So instead of having to type one, the other, etc., you can have 10 keywords, your 10 main keywords, and click Run Group, and boom, one click, you have them all open. So this is a very useful, and it's called Quick Notes. Okay, you have it in all your programs. When you don't see it in higher versions, it's in Control 1. Okay, or you may have a little icon. Right now, we're changing the look and feel of our programs to buttons to make it more pleasant, easy to see. Okay, here we have a way to enter into Twitter. This is for the creditor, right? But it could be for your friend, or it could be even for you. Okay, so it could be your Twitter ID. So if I put Lamar INTL, that will be our Twitter ID. Or if I put the URL for Facebook, which I believe the one that we have a redirection is Faisal Lamar. But this one usually is Facebook / something. The Skype ID, the LinkedIn URL, and also you can send text messages. So here you need to read the instruction for this again, because I already explained this in other tutorials. But essentially, you need to know what is the gateway for your client. So if the gateway for your client is this one, you can know this, the gateway here. Okay, so you can click here and see it, and see the gateway. And so this gateway that I'm using right now is for singular, this one for singular. There are different singular mobile, singular wireless, but this is the one singular me. So if you know, you put it here, and then you also need in the setup, you need to have here, you need to have an email that you can use to send to those cellulars. So in other words, here you need to put your email, well, any email that it works, right? The SNTP, because you're not going to receive any emails, you're going to send. So here you see SNTP email coordinates for the SRS, which is send and receive system, and the SMS, which is the cellular sending of messages, and even the quick emails, to be honest. So here you put your email, username, password, the SNTP server, usually mail dot your domain. If you have it with GoDaddy, it's SNTP out dot secure server or secureservers.net. If it is GoDaddy, it's going to be 3535, by the way, just in case you're using GoDaddy, if it is an email in GoDaddy. But GoDaddy will tell you what it is. And then pretty much you can send messages by clicking here to one or many people. So you can send a message to many people, which essentially is like sending emails, but they will receive that into their cellulars, if you know the cellular, of course. The cellular should be placed here. Also, we have quick emails that works exactly the same. We have an integrated email system, but not only to send, not to receive. So this is a kind of a primitive, if you want, but it's nice. Also, we have the ability to call people, to dial people, I should say, using several protocols. And a protocol like we have protocol like Skype, the modem, you have a modem in your computer, and also soft phone like Ring Central and many others. They use a soft phone. You can dial with that. And also we have kind of a trick, so to speak, where you can pretty much dial through or connect through Google Voice. And we're trying to perfect this. For now, the way it works is like this. You can copy this phone with a shift click in the newer version. Remember, if it doesn't work in yours, you need a new version. And the new version is available, as you know, in aoox.com/12. And so there you have all the new versions, including this version of Personal Financial Builder. So here, if I click with Shift, I'm going to copy this to my Windows clipboard. And then here in the browser, I can click with shift, no, with, no, not here, which, no, not here. Well, right now, to be honest, I don't know, I don't remember how to open that, or maybe this program doesn't have it and I forgot to add it, but it will open here. Probably I need to add it, it's my fault. But it will add here, and it has a button that will tell you that it's Google Voice, so you connect to your Google Voice and you can paste this phone that I have in memory right now, you see? I have in memory. Remember that I have this issue right now with my clipboard, but that is me, so it won't happen to you. I cannot paste, but again, that is me. And so when you click with Shift, it will paste it. I will put it in your Windows clipboard. You see Shift click to copy to your Windows clipboard. So that's what I'm doing, but I have a problem with my. Oh, now it did it. It took 3 times. So anyways, so it pasted here, but it will paste it inside the Google Voice, and then you can dial. Google Voice actually doesn't really, what the Google Voice does is to connect two people. So it will connect this phone to the phone that you have in Google Voice registered. So that way is a way to dial without effort. Indeed, I mean, you can use Skype and do it in one click. You can use soft phone and do it in one click without a problem. That will be in the setup. Okay, the setup is where you select pretty much here in the miscellaneous what is the protocol, modem, SIP protocol, which is the soft phones, and Skype. So you have the protocol that works, but again, with this trick of the Shift, you can do Google Voice and connect you for free to your regular phone. It's a nice trick, and we're going to try to integrate it with one click. So it's going to be part of the protocols. Hasn't been easy yet. It doesn't work, I believe. It's actually Google's issue, but anyways, we're working on it. And if it works, eventually it's going to be one click to select. You can check the setup if you see Google Voice there in the setup, miscellaneous, that will be the place to change it. Here in Google Voice will be the place to change it, and that's it. Then you will be able to dial instead of doing this trick. Right now it's not even working with this trick, by the way. I need to change it, and I'm gonna do that immediately as soon as I finish. So if you want, don't download the version today, well, until tomorrow, so you have the version that works with Google Voice. So I think it's everything for now. And as always, I thank you for your assistance and your time. And remember that this Friday we're going to have this other training, the actual training, because this was, kind of a training presentation, but we're going to have a training on the email system. The email system is one of the most powerful areas in our line of software. It's not the easiest one. It's the one that has hundreds of features, and I'm going to try to explain as many as possible, even with real samples that I will have from me. So I will show you hundreds or thousands of emails, and how you can streamline your work by using the email system properly. I'm gonna leave this the text there, I mean this chart, so you can see the links of our websites in case that you don't have them. And thank you all again, and talk to you soon. Bye.